going down the same road with this, because electrical problems can be a pain in the ass. So what I'm doing now is I'm labeling the actuator wires. There's also a little plastic, one of those little clips that normally break when you pull it, just securing that wire harness there to this box. I honestly have no idea how this thing comes out. A little nervous about taking it out. Looks like two of the computer bolts are going to have to come out. They also look like they're 7mm. I'm sure you guys all had experiences where you go to fix something and the vehicle ends up worse than what it was before when you first started working on it. And normally that happens to me quite a bit. I try to be careful with what I'm doing and go slow and label things and things like that. But I've never done this before. I'm kind of just learning as I go along. You know, and I'll do what I can and do some research, see if there's any videos. If I can find a how-to video or whatever, I'll watch that before. That way I know, you know, what I'm getting myself into. But sometimes you just end up making more work for yourself, and unfortunately I think no matter how good of a mechanic you are, I think that's always going to happen. Sometimes there's just no way to get around it. No matter how good a mechanic you are, things are going to break, bolts are going to strip. There you go, more work. You know, it's just, that's the life of a mechanic, I guess. I was an apprentice mechanic for 2 years at a place. I was kind of learning how to do things and everything, and I ended up losing my license. So I lost my inspections and emissions license, and then ended up ultimately losing my job over it because I didn't have my inspection and emission license. So kind of sucked, but it is what it is. There's two bolts down here above the blower motor that attach to the ECM. So I'm going to go ahead and remove them. Got to take them out to get this cover off. It'd really be nice if I could get this back together today, but I highly doubt that's going to happen. Okay, apparently the ECM just kind of slides off. So I'm very, very, very carefully going to lower that down to get it out of the way. That gives me access to two other remaining bolts that also appear to be 7mm. One's on they're both on the top back. Might need a shallow 7mm for the one. It's kind of a tight fit for mine. I should get this tray out of the way then. Alright. Once again, I'm just kind of gonna these screws back in where they came from. It's the best thing to do because then there's no question where they went. Just want to make sure you get them in good enough that they're not going to fall out when you're moving it around or anything like that. So here's the cover you end up taking off. You may not even have this cover if your blower motor was replaced before. The mechanic might have figured it was such a pain in the ass that he just cut it off or took it off completely. So if you don't have it, don't be shocked. You might just see what you see here, which is actual blower motor. I guess that's some kind of like a dust cover or something like that. So if you do have it, it's good to put it back on. I'm not sure if there's a bolt inside this cover right here or not. I'm going to have to pull the blower motor out anyway. These are also, of course, 7mm. There's two bolts that hold the tank on. They're up top here. I think they're 10mm. They're 13, I'm sorry. 13mm. Now it's basically just the overflow hose that's holding it. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't disconnect that. I just disconnected it from the radiator filler neck because mine isn't long enough. Gonna have some spillage. You may want to clamp off your line ahead of time. Probably should have did that. Oh, some antifreeze, oh well. I've got more in my garage. It's not like it's going outside. Alright, now it's my 10mm on here. Start pulling these out. There's one down at the very bottom. It's the very bottom far left. Once I get it out, I'll show you what it looks like. Must be a very coarse thread. It came out in a few turns. Came out a good bit in a few turns anyway. I don't know how long it is. It doesn't appear to be too long. Here's what it looks like. There's also one up and to the right from that, which appears to bolt the, I guess, the accumulator to the firewall. So I'm going to pop that one loose. Appears to be the same. My accumulator has a plastic strap which goes around it, which helps hold on this insulator. Also going to go ahead and unplug the accumulator power wire or signal wire. Okay, and we also got another bolt. This one, instead of going through the firewall, it comes in from the side, just like this. Head'll be over here, and the threads are actually, you can see them behind the accumulator going through a bracket. a little more tough to get to.